As I wait for the stupid app, boom, boom, to... Ugh. Lovely of the, Twitch app to decide not to prioritize showing me the videos that I follow, the channels I follow. Why would I want to watch the channels I follow? Anyway. Sherlock time. Okay. Who am I? Alright, I'm a jolly Watsit. Okay. What was I doing? I don't remember. It's been weeks. Maybe I'll just start wandering. Maybe Sherlock will tell me. One hopes. Oh, hello. Hey, Watson, what am I doing?
Let's go to the Central News Agency.
Thank
well,
you.
goodbye then.
Thank you. Central News Agency, you say?
I have no reason to go that way.
Well, it just looked funny. Okay,
I must go to the Central News Agency. I'm at the press agency where Bulling works.
Are you bullying?
What do you want?
It would be very informative to search Bulling's desk before meeting him, but first I must get rid of this bothersome person, perhaps by offering him a scoop.
Crack him in the back of the head.
A mirror.
Oh. We don't have many of those in England. Oh, there we go. Oh, there's the Queen. She always watches.
Queen Victoria, to keep the journalists on their toes, I suppose.
Like I said, she's always watching.
I would imagine these are compartments to organize the paper's incoming dispatches.
I talk to you again.
What do you want?
It would be very informative to search Bulling's desk before meeting him.
Do I need to give you this? You want this? Yes, you do.
Good evening. I'm looking for Tom Bulling, the journalist.
He isn't here. He must be sleeping off somewhere. He gave me a tip. He wanted to save a scoop for me. He always gets a good dirt, and yet when he comes in here, it's just to warm his behind. Look, he pulled his desk over the stove.
Thank you for that. You want that scoop?
Listen, Scoop, I'm bringing it over. Only if Bulling isn't here, I'm leaving.
Wait, what's this scoop?
Bulling promised me a reward for info. There's a charlatan who does spiritualist seances that are a little bit special. He steals corpses from the morgue, puts makeup on them, dresses them up, and then uses them as puppets.
I'll give you your dues. We'll pay you if this info is true.
I'll write down the address of the hideout on the crook's leaflet, but the police will be in on this one, so you better get there in time.
Understood. I'll go alone. Too bad for Bulling.
Hey, you wouldn't have a little something in advance?
Look on Bulling's desk. I know that he always leaves a few coins around for his snitches. Cheers.
Watson won't be pleased that I'm divulging the case, but I don't see any other way.
Oh. That's a lot of words written on an IOU. Let me deal this.
A telephone, a device that enables you to talk with anyone in London, provided the receiver has a telephone too.
Fucking black magic. Goddamn telephones. Future. Permit me to defend myself against the slanderous accusations brought against me. You were not lied to regarding the facts. Mr. Bulling spends all of his time in the most audacious of pubs, but I am only doing my work as a journalist. It is during these outings that I can find the best information, because I am thus in contact with the common man. Let me prove to you, dear boss, that I can bring to this agency what it deserves, the most extraordinary and most stimulating information for...
Even handwriting, yet fairly recognizable.
Give me my money.
This is Bulling's desk, the one closest to the stove. Some coins. I will take them. That will avoid suspicion if the journalist returns. A charred match. This may come in handy. These are Bulling's notes. They are of little interest at the moment, but one never knows.
Okay. I see. We're not interested in reading his notes at all.
The fire has almost gone out, but the stove is still burning hot. Bulling recently used the stove.
Ooh. Freshly typed information. Ooh, look at that typewriter. Oh, look at the keys. Oh, what are those secret letters down there? Hitaway? Is that back what we used to call space? Hitaway? Why are there multiple W's and multiple M's? I'm terrified of this device. Mr. Moore, I have noticed that one of your employees, Thomas Bulling, arrived at the meeting in a state of inebriation. Oh! I must ask you to take care of your team's discipline. I know that you indulged the journalist given the explosive information that he manages to flesh out, but this behavior is unacceptable. This should not repeat itself, or I will hold you personally responsible. The Assistant Director.
Bulling's boss, Mr. Moore, seems to be protecting the journalist.
Interesting. Is that all we needed?
I need more information.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
A telephone, a device that enables you to...
A tele? Oh no. There's not much to do here. Start using stuff on stuff. Do you want a rag? Oh, because it's hot.
Curious. It looks like someone wanted to destroy this piece of blotting paper that had red ink on it. I can make out a few more letters, but backwards. I need something to help me.
Like a mirror? Where's that blooming mirror?
By putting this piece of blotting paper in front of the mirror...
You gonna
I
tell
can
me
read
Sherlock
what is
Holmes can't
written.
read stuff backwards? Is that what you're gonna tell me? Call by telephone. Why? Don't make me touch the weird
Apparently,
typewriter.
our journalist gets his information by telephone too. Sadly, the name is almost erased. If I telephone one of Bulling's contacts pretending to be his assistant, I might learn something of interest.
No. This is why I have coins. Well, it said why, so I imagine Wellesby. Oh, but he doesn't have a number. What are you talking about? Oh, look how slow it turns. Maybe I'll call Fenton and ask what Wellesby's number is. Look at how slow they move.
I need more information.
What are you saying? Excuse me? Why are these here? I don't understand. What is this? Why is this here? What have you put in front of me, game? What is this? Is it 1875 because of that? What if I did that? What does that have to do with his number? Why would that be his number? Why in any shred of hell?
Walesby 1875, an ingenious way to save his contact. Central, Walesby 1875, if you will. Thank you, I will wait.
Did he super glue fucking coins to the goddamn telephone?
Walesby, I am listening.
Hello, my dear man. I'm calling on behalf of Tom Bulling.
Bulling? So you know where this hypocrite, this liar, this...
Not at all. He is currently unobtainable. In the meantime, he has left me with a note asking me to pursue his work, and he told me that you were aware.
That's just great. I dropped everything off at his agency, but he didn't even bother to do the same for me. Tell me he at least gave you the information that I was asking in return.
I am ready, sir. I'm listening.
Do the police have a suspect for the bizarre theft of cigarettes and carrots that took place at the Commercial Street Market?
What? Do the police have a suspect for the... What? Do the police have a suspect for the bizarre... Am I... Uh-huh. Oh, why can't I look inside my inventory? Oh, I want to blow my own brains out. I want to blow my brains out. Fantastic. What are you asking me? You can't do this. What is this? What is this mobster code that I'm trying to say? want to
bullying.
do.
The head of the Whigs said, "Vote for me.
I
will
hate
be your
this.
best representative."
I
Good.
I
That'll make
genuinely
for a
hate
good paper.
this.
There is one last question. According to a government social study, civil servants make the best husbands. Why?
I don't know, Jordan, solve it for me. I hate this. I hate this with a horrible passion. Why am I doing this? I want to solve a murder. What the fuck am I doing? What the fuck am I doing? What is this fucking trash in front of me right now? I hate this. I was so happy when we started doing like the stuff with the checking the body. I was like, oh my god, we're like actually doing it. No. I fucking hate these games. What the fuck? What kind of morons made this? I want to kick them right in the fucking jewels. Can't believe this. Like that. Have that.
I believe I can confirm that it is because
Thank you,
civil
Jordan.
servants
I don't want to
aren't
do any
tired
of this.
and have already read the paper when they come home from work.
The absurdity of this puzzle just
Very
like made
true.
me not even want to look
It
at
seems
it.
like
I'm like, what the
bullying
fuck
has
are you
finally
people
done his
talking about?
work.
I don't want to do this.
As everything is all in order,
This
can
isn't
you
a
now
murder
tell me where the
investigation.
information
This is
is
fucking
that you
around.
sent to the agency?
Yes. There is a large brown envelope near the dispatch cabinet. It's in there that we exchange our tips with bullying.
1,000 thanks. Goodbye, sir.
My salutations to bullying.
I know that we just started the stream just like 15 minutes ago, but my tolerance for the bullshit of these games is fucking bedrock. It is so on the floor. Let me leave.
I need more information.
I want to leave this fucking horrid, stupid place and all of its pomps and all
There are
of its
several
works.
documents in this file. Let's see.
Oh, Spring Hill Jack, the Terror of London. He's fun. Fantastical character, first appearance 1837, associated with several suspicious muggings and robberies. Are we gonna say Spring Hill Jack did the killings? Associated with several suspicious muggings and robberies taking place in London and other parts of England. Description: a diabolical appearance, bat's wings, horns, blue flames coming out of the mouth and or eyes, etc. Identifying marks. Well, I would say those are pretty identifying. All of the eyewitnesses speak of his capacity to make leaps of superhuman distance. Were his nickname. Conclusion: having become a very example of the urban legend of our century, this character fascinating, important at the time of the attacks against the young woman Lucy Scales and Jane Aslop. What a name! The papers covering the events of very nice.
I wonder why Bulling is studying this tale about Spring Hill Jack so meticulously.
This is definitely interesting handwriting. Who writes R's like that? Oh, is he trying to figure out what to call Jack the Ripper? Oh, Spring Hill Jack, and then yeah, I see. The Towers of London.
What does that mean?
Mr. Charles Moore, thank you for this testimony of the Whitechapel Code that you follow.
Well, a piece of information about the murders transmitted exclusively to the police without informing the press. That has piqued my curiosity. Perhaps I should go to the police station to get more information.
Tom, about the letter given the thing. Tom Bulling's okay. About the letter given the things to the thing.
What does that mean? I have inspected everything, but there's no sign of Bulling. He must have dashed off to his HQ, the Wasp's Nest. However, before I go to see him, I should find out about this mysterious information. It could help me get something out of the journalist. To the police station, then.
Leave this fucking place. Nope, this is the director's office. Let's
go to the police station.
They were saying that the Ripper contacted the press, but that may have all been BS. It's important to know that. That was in the Whitechapel police station. Boarding house, police station.
Let's go to the police station.
That's where we're at.
Come, come. Back again, are we? Come this way, good man. The inspector has a few questions to ask you. Here is the man, Inspector.
Congratulations, Humphreys. So, my lad, one would say that you owe us a bit of an explanation for having left something with us. What is your full name and profession?
Sherlock Holmes, consulting detective.
Well, how about that?
Mr. Holmes, can you explain this get-up, your presence in the neighbourhood despite my instructions, as well as this most opportune restitution of jewels?
Firstly, I should tell you that not being under your command, I never understood what you said as an order, but rather as advice. I thought I would be wise to follow them to a certain extent. I intended to explain the stolen goods sooner or later. My presence here will allow me to fill you in on a few conclusions that...
If it is in regard to the Whitechapel murders, it won't help us much. We have no doubt that we will be revealing the identity of the murderer to the people in the area in a day or two.
I'm impressed, Inspector, and I offer you my sincerest congratulations. Nonetheless, you should investigate a certain doctor.
Listen, Holmes, let us do our work.
Won't even
You
accept
rid us of a
his
great pain in
opinion
the
at
rear
all.
end by finding those jewels for us. It's weeks of work that you've saved us. But I think you're a little underqualified for a case like that of Jack the Ripper.
Ah, I see. He's
It's
underqualified.
over. I demand that you do not set foot in the area. Is that clear?
Underqualified.
I take note of your advice, Inspector. You mentioned Jack the Ripper. Pardon me, but you know the name of the murderer?
Oh, it's from a letter that the Central
Dr.
News
House
Agency
comes
sent
in. It's
our
like, you're
way.
underqualified
It was written by the killer.
to diagnose this
And even if
this
it can't be
illness.
proven, it must be recognised that the signature is striking. This information is confidential, and I would ask you to keep it to yourself, Holmes.
Can I have a little look? Out of mere curiosity, Inspector. Then I shall disappear.
In that case, I don't see any objection.
Thank you so much.
Keep on hearing the bullies. This is in red ink. Didn't Bullings write in red ink? I distinctly remember that. This seems like it's bullshit. Immediately. Instantaneously. Joke about another me real fits. Down on the holes, and I shan't quit ripping them till I get the knuckled. Grand work the last job was. I gave the lady no time to squeal. How can they catch me now? I love my work and want to start again. You will soon hear from me with my furry little game. I saved some of the proper stuff in the sinners and the throttle. Yeah, this is nonsense. P.S. Wasn't good enough to point this before I got all the... No.
Me? Not up to discovering who Jack the Ripper is? Well, we'll soon find out, won't we, Inspector Aberline?
I see.
know
Sherlock
who
took that as a
wrote the
personal
dear
insult.
boss letter signed Jack the Ripper that Inspector Aberline gave me. And, above all, I now know why. This Tom Bulling was inspired by this fantastical character to build a myth out of the Whitechapel killer. Perhaps he would be receptive if I shared my discovery about him and prevent him from accusing Squippy. I must find him at once. My best bet will be to try my luck at the pub.
Give us one of these rights. I do like that I just... Oh, hi. I do like that I just know my way
Holmes,
around
I got your
Whitechapel at
message,
this
and
point.
here I am.
I don't even have to look at it on the fucking map. I know where to go.
Perfect, Watson. That oaf Bluto is looking for us with evil intentions, and he may be hiding here. I will try to get more information inside. You, Watson, will be our lookout, and at the slightest suspicious sound, do not hesitate to call a constable on his rounds.
Hello.
Good
Hey,
evening,
asshole.
Mr. Bulling.
We know each other?
No, however, I have some information that may be of interest to you.
Talk, my friend. A pint for you if what you say is worth something. Does it have to do with the Whitechapel murders?
Indeed, I know the identity of the man who wrote a letter to the police, a letter entitled Dear Boss, in which the author claims to be the Whitechapel murderer and is signed Jack the Ripper.
What?
It's a journalist who was inspired by Spring-Heeled Jack in order to strengthen the credibility and the seriousness of his agency. This new Jack will give him some first-hand information that he, in turn, will dole out sparingly to the authorities, as well as some carefully distilled indiscretions that the big papers will come to beg of him. He plays both sides off against one another and becomes the chief orchestrator of the rumour. He wrote this letter in this very spot, and he has red ink on his fingers. Like you.
What exactly are you after, my friend?
You've been threatening a certain Squibby to distribute a telegram naming him as a possible suspect in these murders in revenge for an old feud. I would suggest you don't write this note, and that you leave Squibby alone.
I'd forgotten about the existence of that rapscallion. I threw that at him when I was visiting the station to get the dope. You should have seen his face.
You must also stop sending these letters that waste the authorities' precious time.
Right, well, I don't even know what you're talking about. I have a great relationship with the Bobbies. Just ask around. I don't have to answer to nobody. Now leave me alone.
Goodbye.
Farewell, sir.
Good riddance.
No, if Bluto sees me, it could prove to be quite dangerous.
Is that it? Are we satisfied?
Let's hurry to the police station, Watson. We are close to our goal. Squibby will be able to reveal what he knows about Tumblety.
I was surprised that's all we had to do. Oh no, here's Bluto.
So that's it. You're a free man again.
Oh, no.
We were
It's
just coming to
Squibby.
the station to find you.
Yeah, the Bobbies agreed to let me go, and I came to see Bluto before ferreting you out. So, you've seen the newspaper man?
Yes, he is in the pub and everything is taken care of, but I'm waiting to hear what you have to say about Dr. Tumblety.
Okay, but we have to be quick. One night, I goes to see Bluto in his hideout that ain't far from the boarding house where this Tumblety bloke has a room. I see him coming in too. He must have been on one real binge. To the point, the Tumblety fella was there, and he smiles at me, all nice like. He tells me he's a great Yankee doctor, but my business interests him. I'm interested, I tell him, but I'm not the type to just jump right in without getting to know a person, see? He invites me around to his room to talk business, just him and me. We empty a bottle or two, and all of a sudden, like, he wants to show me what he's got in this big trunk that he always carts around places. I just about vomited, see? In these jars, just like pickles, you know, there were pieces of meat. And he whispers that it's the lady bits of some old dames. He called them peckywins. I call them love killers, I would. Yuck! After that, he starts to go on about rich folk. They ain't nothing but dogs, and I won't tell you the worst of it. Then he comes all close to me and puts his sweaty hand on my leg. He was one of them types.
He's one of them types. He's gonna fucking
I
screw
don't wait
you.
a second before I give him a good thrashing, and I start running and let go of him, and he still wants to see me again just to talk business. But then I had to do time, so business.
Do you know where he can be found?
He's one of those
Why,
types.
ain't he in his digs? Maybe he got to liking life behind bars too. I heard that in some jobs there's a way to.
Thank you for your information, and we'll meet again, my friend. Here is the sum I promised to get you out of London.
Ciao, fella. I've just got a little score to settle with Bluto, and I'm heading for the country.
We gonna watch a hit? Oh, those eyes.
Lipsky!
My dear Watson, we must
Interesting.
strike while the iron is hot. We have avoided meeting Dr. Tumblety until now. The time has come to do so.
Do you have an opinion, Holmes?
We must assure ourselves that the factor collector of female organs and a murderer who removes said organs are resident in the same area at the same time is nothing more than coincidence.
I thought that you wouldn't bring me back your keys. It's you, Mr. Holmes. Good evening, Dr. Watson.
Indeed, it is I again. One of your tenants left without returning his keys?
Yes,
I changed clothes
it's
while on the
Dr.
street.
Tumblety, whom we spoke about. Shortly after your last visit here, some constables came and asked me a few questions regarding him. Barely had they left than the doctor came barreling around a street corner and rushed up into his room upstairs. A little while afterwards, while I was tidying, I heard a thud in his room and a rush down the stairs. He left with most of his bags, but without returning his keys. You can go up and see if you wish. The door is still open.
Bollocks! That one.
Careful, Watson. Do not walk around here until I've inspected these marks.
I know, Holmes, I know. I understand your methods. Ah, you have your rule and magnifying glass. I thought that you had forgotten them, Holmes.
I never forget the essentials, my dear Watson.
I always hate measuring the shoes. It's always weird.
Right foot, light trails. The man was running. Right foot, light trails.
Good to
The
know.
man-
It's always weird.
Size 13.
Ah,
Not
you have
green.
your rule.
I never forget
No,
the essentials.
Oh. Okay, we're gonna get out of that then.
I'm missing some information.
Throw myself down the fucking stairs. All right.
Ah, you have your rule.
Ah,
Never forget the
yes.
essentials, my dear Watson. Right foot, light trails.
Thank you.
The man was running. This isn't water. Going by its sticky texture and odor, I'd say we're dealing with formalin. These are the footprints of a tall man who had recently stepped in formalin and who left this room in a hurry.
Well, can I walk on it and enter the room now, Holmes?
All right. I do not understand how you found yourself in this situation. Your passionate discussions on the legitimacy of this war should have convinced more than one. I still remember... What war? It's 1880s. The Boer War, maybe? No, that was... Yeah, I don't know what war this would be. I still remember when you struck the very characterized... Vicksburg is the key. Vicksburg? This is the Civil War. Oh, yeah, this is an American. Oh, yeah, that's right. Civil War is a very recent event. That would only have been 23 years ago.
If this letter is addressed to him, it would appear our doctor is a veteran of the American Civil War. Vicksburg is the key. Now, that is interesting.
Vicksburg was a battle on the Mississippi River. Very critical one. Dear Francis, it's impossible for us to meet again. I'm feeling terrible. Let's return to that lovely physical. Oh, this is homosexual. Your attraction to young rogues will cost you dearly one of these days.
This Dr. Tumblety seems to be attracted to men more than women. That much is clear.
You
So,
think?
the doctor has a handgun, and he would use it to restrain young men, perhaps.
Interesting. He's not an asker. He's a demander.
There are a few pieces of a large glass jar in this puddle. The man who left the footprints on the ground must have walked in it while fleeing.
Wouldn't it be fun? Like the most famous British serial killer of all time turns out to be an American.
Going by its
No.
size, this enormous trunk must be a
Oh,
wardrobe.
Watson,
These
save me!
brackets are rather
No!
unusual. What do you think, Watson?
Let's see, Holmes. These are the names of the battles from the American Civil War.
Okay.
Let's see. 5 latches, each fitted with a 6-number combination system.
What's up with the fucking hats and uniforms? Mexico. Mexico was not at Antietam. Okay, let me tell you that right now. And Spain was not at Gettysburg. Okay, let me tell you that. Huh. So, okay. This is a flag that doesn't exist yet. This is the flag of Republican Spain, I believe, which doesn't get formed until 1937, I believe, or 36. So this is highly, highly not in existence. So do we just want the date for Vicksburg? Is that the idea? Well, it's not 68 or 1771. That'd be insane. Or do they want me to do all of these? Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but I don't remember the... Well, I can say Fort Sumter is 1861, because that's the start of the war. Oh, this is one of those weirdo ones that doesn't want to... And 461. What? I don't understand. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Are these, which country won each battle? Is that what this is? So that'd be them? Man. And there's no... They really are just testing someone's knowledge of the American Civil War, huh? Because there's like... Ooh. Oh, and like match the uniform with the... Okay. Oh, and it goes... Okay. This isn't the worst thing. Gettysburg is near... Well, I was about to say it's near the end, but there are multiple of these that are like in 63 and stuff. I don't know exact dates for the Civil War battles, okay? The Civil War is not one of my expertise. Yeah. I'm just gonna have to guess, unfortunately. Because I can't recall one way or the other. I mean, I know the difference between a Union, fucking all that. This is an interesting one because like there's nothing in the game to like inform you about this. This is just like a thing that you just have to do. So that's a weirdie. So let's try this 02 bit. And these dials are really weird, by the way. I know. But these dials are really weird. They if you click somewhat up on them, they go one way, somewhat down, they go another way, and it's like difficult to operate. 2 0 5 63. Oh. Are some of these alternate flags? We have a Union hat. I don't know what that is. Confederate cavalry cap. Cowboy hat. Fucking goddamn... Like, fucking Prussian hat? I don't know what that is. Oh, this is a lot. This is also an extraordinarily complicated lock. I want to point that out real quick. Well, America won Vicksburg, okay, and Gettysburg. What the hell are these fucking flags, man? It's a Union cavalry hat. And this is America and Lincoln. I see that. Why is that underlined? I think they're like alternate flags for each, like, you know, for like regiments and stuff like that. Just nonsense. I don't know. That's like very specific. Well, I wish I could take a black Sharpie and just like mark out 1771 and 1868 because those are pointless. The Morrow, the key. Is it gonna be like? Is Vicksburg gonna randomly be like one date past fucking the actual? I think Vicksburg was relatively earlier in the war. I think I could be talking directly out of my ass though. Let's just go down the list of them. This may end up being one I have to look up just for convenience of time. Okay, so that didn't work. 17. Nope, that's the. I'm telling you, the way these buttons move, it's like really throwing me off. Oh, 9. No. Well, how about 07? Eh. 3? No. Well, it's not. Excuse me? Oh, yep. I knew it. It's like tomorrow is the key. It's like you have to kick it one past. Gettysburg, that was a Union victory. So that's like fucking. I can't even read that. Something rifles, but it's got a harp on it, so that seems like it's Ireland, and then that's a fucking goddamn bollocks. I don't know what that is, and that's France. So maybe just the star is American. Well, I know that the that is that. Oh boy. All right. This will be in the 63, I think. So I think this might be let's try 02. This one's gonna take a second just because of how they designed this one. So it's not that. And that's Vicksburg. Gettysburg was not 1862. Let me tell you. It's able to be parsed, but it's gonna take forever. Absolutely forever. Gettysburg was not 1862. That'd be bollocking lies. Not Spain. France also was not a participant. Well, what the hell? There's something tricksy about all this, hmm? So this was for Vicksburg. This is Fort Sumter. Gettysburg did not happen in 1862. That'd be crazy. Gettysburg was near the end of the war. We'll get back to Gettysburg because that's the problem is that I can't remember the victors of Chancellorsville or Antietam. Is a problem. I know Antietam has some of the highest body count of any American battle. I know that. I know that for true. Yeah, I think I'm gonna look it up just because I feel like I could be here another fucking 40 minutes. You know? Also, this puzzle is dreadfully silent. Mambatana, na 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 Oh, I just like going through the walkthrough. It's like scrolling through some of the previous like puzzles we've done, and I just like felt like nauseous. I just felt like a wave of nausea. I guess that probably that was an Irish flag, but since it's with the green hat, it probably is like an Irish brigade. Now I think about it. Green. 020563. Just realized I haven't saved it in a while, and I did Alt Tab. It can't. It wouldn't. Let's no. We shan't entertain that possibility that just went across my mind. Blue Eagle. All right. We shall now get these through here. We all established I was picking up what they're putting down, but I just don't feel like going down here and parsing through it, to tell you the truth. Oh, come to me. Tedum, and then... Oh, there we go. And then Chancellorsville. That. Star. Cowboy hat. And then Gettysburg. Oh, no. 0307. And this was the Ireland and then the green hat. What a highly complicated lock, by the way. I do something like that about like World War II fucking World War II memorabilia. Fucking goddamn ovaries, yeah, those are fucking ovaries and stuff.
This is dreadful, Holmes. This trunk contains 4 jars in which organs are floating.
Watson, can you tell me at a glance what these organs are?
I would say that they are parts of female reproductive organs.
Are these specimens fresh?
No, and I am quite certain of it. From the colour and appearance, I'd say these organs have been in these jars for several months, if not years.
Let's go to Baker Street.
Is there someone
I want to
here?
save so
Yes.
bad.
What's going on, Finley? You seem to be in a panic.
The 2 police officers wanted to know if someone suspicious had entered here. The Whitechapel killer has struck again, and if I understood correctly, he killed 2 women in the past few hours.
Where?
I don't know. The police didn't tell me anything.
Quick, Holmes, we must catch up with them.
Certainly not, Watson. Mr. Finley, do you know if the doctor had any other pieces of luggage up there apart from this trunk?
1 or 2, I think.
Do you take care of the doctor's laundry?
My wife does laundry for the tenants once a week. The sheets likewise.
Would you be kind enough to let us know as soon as possible if the doctor shows up again?
Certainly. I'm just worried that he won't be back, you see, and I'm annoyed about my keys.
Holmes, I don't follow. The Whitechapel killer is, at this very moment, very close by, and we are just staying put, twiddling our thumbs.
The Whitechapel killer has always been nearby, and what will we do? Go back to the scene of the crime or crimes and mix with the onlookers and trample the crime scenes even more? No, our time will come. Let's return to Baker Street.
Let's go back to Baker Street. Home, sweet home.
I was just about to say earlier, it's like we're allegedly getting near to the end of this game.
We were
There's a
less
lot
than
more
200
victims.
feet away from the first victim a few minutes before she was murdered. We might even have heard the murderer's voice. And we haven't done a thing for the past week.
You're the one not doing anything, Watson. For my part, I have been working, and as you know, I've made good use of this week by tracking down and verifying all of the solid facts on these 2 murders to write up the notes that are on my desk, read them over again, and try to gain a bit of perspective.
Not to the road. This shrine in Dutch village. I will point out, neither of these women that they're mentioning right now are one of the canonical, like, accepted modern-day victims of Jack the Ripper. So my guess is that Sherlock here is going to say, no, these are different. Louis Demischultz. Of pastels? Don't know what that is. Why should Jews be socialists? They're saying some crazy shit. Oh, Jesus Christ. Occasional prostitute. Occasional prostitute. Interesting. John Kelly, our very own astronaut senator. I think Catherine Eddowes is one of the canonical victims. Because I remember at one point trying to write her last name, and I kept getting stumbled because Eddowes is so peculiar of a name. Fun little thing was, while I'm being quiet and just reading this, by the way, I have noticed in the past that Twitch has occasionally muted some of these streams, like, for a bit. I think that it doesn't like the classical music sometimes. You know, the Twitch is afraid they'll get sued by the classical music people, obviously.
I have read and reread them, but give me something to do then. A task where I can get stuck in, because...
Find me a slaughterhouse that will give us exclusive use of its block for an hour. And find me, in your opinion, which common animal shares the most characteristics with humans from a physiological point of view.
Pig?
Pig?
I don't even know why I asked that question. Pray, find a dozen fresh pig's heads, Watson. Not big heads, I prefer small ones.
Sows?
That's it, Watson. As soon as you have done that, let me know. I request that you search in Whitechapel. Who knows? Perhaps you will learn something about where Dr. Tumblety may be hiding. There is also no shortage of slaughterhouses and pigs' heads in those parts.
Watson's been sent on errands to bide his time while Sherlock fucking lays down and probably smokes some opium or whatever.
What a ridiculous...
Save. Yeah. I know you just said something, but I want to fucking save, and I'm tired of you people not letting me save. And then I will literally never see what he had to say there because they won't let me like look at recordings of it. But we're back to Whitechapel. We can actually start wandering around again. Slaughterhouse. We need pigs and then stuff. Oh no! Don't ever do that again. That's an ominous shot right there. I'm just standing in the street like that. This is what I'm looking for. There we go. I want run forever to be pressed. I don't understand what that whole situation was.
Look, the Club for Socialist Jews, the Cradle of Liberty. Another political club of little interest.
This, the International Working Men's Club. That sounds very communisty. Just gonna put that out there. Even without them talking about the, socialist stuff. That does sound a bit like Workers of the World Unite. That bicycle. Oh. What is this tortured form of a bicycle? Oh. Looking for a slaughterhouse. Looking for a slaughter. Why can't I talk to you?
Tell me, you little scamp, do you know the owner of a butcher's shop or a slaughterhouse where pigs are killed? There's a coin in it for you.
No, sir, but for a coin, I'll tell you this. Ask Miss Bella's gals. They have to deal with a whole bunch of pig-headed oafs every day.
Hilarious. Also, who says where a bunch of pigs are killed? That sounds like something a fucking vegan would say. Where they cart off all the pigs and fucking execute them. The local animal death row facility, the slaughterhouse. Looking for a slaughterhouse. There's a Fletcher right there. Let's go down the darkest corridors looking for the slaughterhouse. The amount of smog we just bellow into the sky is kind of impressive.
I have no reason to go that way.
Of course. At least Watson's less sharp about it, you know? When Sherlock Holmes is telling me he doesn't want to go somewhere, it sounds like he's insinuating I'm an idiot. Why would I ever go that way?
I have no reason to go that way.
Have I been down this way? No butcher. Oh, butcher? Oh no, you're at Animal Place. Hey,
No,
do you have
that's
pig heads?
no use.
No.
How would he know where to find sows' heads?
You never know. What about you?
No, that's no use. How would he know where to find sows' heads?
What are you talking about? He lives in the area. He lives here. Surely he'd be able to point you in the direction of the local butcher. Also, we're trying to solve these murders, but we did... Oh, he's doing a jig. But, we're trying to solve a murders of women, and when we're in Whitechapel in the distance, you can just always hear just women just shrieking. We're back here. You know what, maybe they can tell me something.
Out of the way, I don't like the look of you.
There we go. Watson doesn't interrupt him.
Good evening, Lucy. But is something wrong?
Good evening, Dr. Watson. Yes, it's my uncle. He's no longer with us.
Please accept my condolences, miss.
Thank you, Doctor. But why are you here? Can I help you?
Hey, a butcher.
My request may sound rather strange, but do you know if there is a butcher's or slaughterhouse in the area where pigs are killed?
Yes, Fletcher's the man.
Oh!
He was a regular client, owner of a little butcher's
I know
shop
exactly
not
where
far.
Fletcher is.
But Miss Bella didn't want him to come, as long as he didn't treat his awful sickness.
Can you point to his shop on my map?
Certainly.
Do you know anything about the two latest murders?
Oh, goodness me, no. All the girls in the neighbourhood are terrified. Who will be next? That's what everyone is asking.
Good day to you, madam.
Goodbye, Lucy.
Until next time, perhaps, Doctor.
I even mentioned his shop whenever I was running by. He is the cat's meat, if I remember correctly. Hello?
Ah, there's Fletcher's butcher shop.
Closed.
Closed due to illness. If the proprietor is ill, the butcher's block is probably not being used. Perhaps I can use it. Now, where could a sick butcher have got to? Come, my lord, a little coin. Oi!
Vampire. Will the son of a bitches tell me? Oh, son of a bitch.
No, I must find Fletcher. If he is really unwell, he can't be here.
Well, even if he's not there, I'm saying you can ask if they've seen him. God damn it, you're making this much harder than it needs to be, mister.
If the proprietor is...
God damn it!
Yes, if Fletcher is
yeah.
ill, he should be here.
Mm-hmm. Fletcher, hey, have you seen Fletcher? Has he died?
Good evening, Dr. Watson.
Good evening, Dr. Gibbons. I have come to see you because I was wondering if, by any chance, you happen to have a patient by the name of Fletcher, a butcher who would have relinquished his shop due to illness. An illness caught during nocturnal encounters, if you catch my drift.
Fletcher is one of the regulars at the clinic. Mercury treatment against syphilis. A night with Venus, a lifetime with Mercury. He left London a fortnight ago for the fresh country air. Why is he of interest to you?
Oh, no reason. I'm more interested in using his shop, only for an hour or so. Would he have left his keys with family in the area?
He has none left, but he must have left Hardiman, the cat's meat seller, to oversee his shop. They're in business. They're good friends.
Do you know where he can be found?
No, but wander around the neighbourhood and listen for his beep beeps. He often passes in front of the clinic. Besides,
that's how you say goodbye in Victorian England. No. No, she
It's
got
me
me.
that you're looking for, sweetheart.
Actually, no. I am looking for the cat food seller, Hardiman.
Hardiman? Poor Hardiman? It isn't quitting time for him yet. That gives me some time to wander the streets before he shows up, and with him all the cats hereabouts.
Why did you call him poor Hardiman?
Bah! He's in grieving, of course. Just a few weeks ago he lost his wife. And 3 months before that, his girl, poor fella. He was in tatters. Even came to cry on my shoulder, believe it or not.
Do you know where he lives?
Sure. And for a copper, I might even tell you.
Here are a few coins.
You're too kind, Governor. Well, these days I knows that he lives with his mammy on Hanbury Street, in the same place where Dark Annie bled to death.
Well, I must leave you. I must go to Hanbury Street.
I think I remember where that was. You do share the model, I think, with the man we're looking for who goes beep beep. Quack, 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 quack. Batty Street. Oh, bollocks. I've accidentally roamed into the fucking street where that lady's been killed a dozen times over, and now I actually need to find where it was, and I can't. Of course, typical. Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack, click, clack, click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. Actually, rather tall. Not that way. This way. Bucks Row. No, this was Bucks Row, that's right. Where the hell is this fucking street at? What's the second murder done at? I don't remember now. I don't remember now. Baker Street, Barnes Bookstore.
This is the building in which poor Annie Chapman was killed.
Beep beep.
Beep beep.
Beep beep.
Told you shared his model.
Hello, are you Mr. Hardiman? That's me.
Beep beep.
I am Dr. Watson. I have come to see you about Fletcher's shop. I would like to use it for an hour or two.
That
if
woman
you
back
have the
there is
keys and your
fucked
rates
up.
are reasonable.
Do you want to operate on someone in the butcher's?
Not at all. One of my friends needs it to prepare pig's heads.
Well, why not? Fletcher certainly wouldn't mind, but there's a problem.
What do you mean? What are you fucking talking about?
Problem? How so?
This morning, the neighbour above broke his key in the door. The old boy must have already had a drink.
So?
Well, I tried my best to unjam it with Fletcher's spare key, which is pretty thin, and bam, that one broke too.
Hard luck. But if you have the end of the broken key, perhaps it can be fixed.
It must still be upstairs. I didn't pick it up. Fletcher has a key too, so I didn't think it was a problem. Fancy, if I just had another key with a simpler blade, I could copy it. I'm great at odd jobs.
Fine, I will try to find all of that. Well,
Nothing's
see
easy.
you later then.
Goodbye, sir.
Now where the hell am I going? Yeah, cat's meat. Oh. I don't like this place at all. This is not a friendly place to be.
This key was left inadvertently. Indeed, there is nothing terribly precious inside. But what a stench.
I am not a fan of this place at all.
Oh, no. But what a... Ah, how dreadful. Kebabs, the same as Hardiman's. So he prepares his meat here. My word, these are innards. This bag contains butcher's equipment.
We feeding the ladies to the fucking cats, hmm?
I found it.
Is there any combining I need to do real quick? Let me. Okay, they're not even like it. Let me. You. Have this.
Have you found everything I need to remake the key?
There you go. I think you'll manage with all of this.
I'm sure I will, sir. It won't take me long.
Say, I think there's some of your business upstairs.
Oh, you're right. I ain't had the time to sort it out. Sometimes I'm in such a hurry to prepare my meat that I forget to clean up.
But why do it in the stairwell?
Offal bleeds bucket loads, they do, as you've seen. Now, why would I do that in my own lodgings?
Ah, of course. But what about your poor neighbours?
They owe it to me, all the times I've helped them out. And I don't have a shop either.
Say, you sell animal meat, isn't that right? Would you know where I could find a dozen small pig's heads?
The guy who gets me my offal should have some.
I'll pay your day's wages if you meet me at Fletcher's butcher shop in 2 hours with the pig's heads. Here's a little advance.
I'll do my best, Doctor.
The caretaker of another building told us that the place where your mother lives has a reputation for facilitating prostitutes' activities. Is that true?
Sure, the doors are never closed. They come through here like it's Paddington Station.
By the way, I heard about your loss. My condolences.
Ta, sir. I saw them die slow deaths. My little girl, her face was eaten by the disease.
Thank you, my friend, and please forgive me for bringing up such painful memories.
Go, I must do my rounds, and I will look for what you've asked for.
As for me, I will go and
What a
find
sad
Holmes,
little man.
and we will go to the butcher's together. Let's return to Fletcher's butcher shop.
Your heads are on the block inside. Say, you wouldn't be the same chap who bought my whole load the other day.
It's possible, but if you want to continue to do business together, you mustn't speak of my presence in the area to anyone.
Don't worry, my lord. I'll be as quiet as a church mouse.
Okay.
Holmes, will you explain the reason and rhyme behind this masquerade?
Elementary. We shall conduct an experiment that will allow us to answer a simple question. Does the type of weapon used by the killer correspond to a specific profession?
Look at the health and safety standards. Make sure you cook your fucking food fucking thoroughly in this time period, okay? Don't you fuck around. I don't know why I did that.
I need something.
I do, apparently.
This wheel is broken and prevents the door from sliding. There is nothing further to find in this room, Watson. However, I need some knives. Our only hope is behind this door.
Our only hope. I have a pocket knife.
And here are our sow's heads. Congratulations, Watson.
You're welcome, Holmes, but what do you really want to do? Take up a collection?
Pork is one of those foods that I think I should just stop eating, by the way. If you look up stuff about pigs and like how intelligent they are, it just seems, it just feels a little wrong. Okay.
There is nothing further to find in this room, Watson. However, I need to...
Are you gonna use a knife on this? Oh, yeah, apparently yes. Yes, I am.
This wheel is broken and... This wheel is broken and...
Why have I done this?
There, this door is slightly raised. Elementary.
There you go.
While I prepare our experiment, could you find me 2 knives? A small one, somewhat larger than a pocket knife, with a large, sharp blade. We'll need it to separate the bones and to cut through the thick skins. Then find me a long knife that's at least 13 inches long, no shorter, that's sharp and has a thick blade.
Fine, Holmes, but I'd like to tell you about Hardiman. Do you know that he prepares his kebabs himself, and...
That he owns butcher's tools and uses offal? That's obvious, Watson. Pray, take my magnifying glass and my rule and get started, Watson. Find me these 2 knives.
A pockety knife and a biggie knife.
With the rule, I must find a large knife.
He said like 13 inches.
Size? 11 inches. Size? 13 inches.
Give me that.
Thanks to the magnifying glass, I can find a small knife that matches Holmes's description. Fragments of cartilage. Fragments of cartilage.
I want that. Nah. Does this meet your satisfaction?
Here are the knives you asked for. Be careful, they're awfully sharp. Holmes, I must say that this experiment is making me rather uneasy, comparing animal heads to these poor women.
You're right, Watson, but this somewhat shocking experiment may help to end this massacre and save other victims. You can be sure of that. Look, these pigs' heads are still bloody, which will suit our experiment perfectly. I have a pocket knife and a scalpel with me. With the 2 knives you just brought me, we have a similar array of weapons as those probably used by the killer. We saw 3 types of throat wounds on the deceased attributed to this man, those intended to slit the throat, those intended to decapitate, and the more superficial yet mortal wound that led to the death of the unfortunate victim in Dutfield's yard, Miss Stride. With the help of these 4 knives, we are going to try to recreate these wounds on the pigs' heads and see what we can establish about the weapon or weapons used. We may also be able to rule out Miss Stride as a victim of the killer of the other 3.
Okay. Oh my lord. What do I click? They're always so fucking rude about what I'm allowed to click and why. I can't touch anything.
Let's try to use these weapons on this head to obtain a large deep wound to the throat, like those that were noted on 3 of the 4 victims. Let's try to use these weapons.
Oh. Oh. Use your magics and fix that. I'll do this with my mouse cursor, I suppose. This is rather gruesome. Grab the there, thank you. No, it's this a large one. That's way too thin. Horrifyingly accurate potentially. It's definitely this one. Look at those. Look at that wide cut there. Definitely this one. Definitely. For certain.
Let's try to decapitate our victim with these tools, knowing that the killer didn't quite manage to do it.
Charming.
Charming indeed. horrible. That's a little deep. Maybe? That's way too precise. That's a little crazy. I think it may be this one. I like this one.
Let's see if these knives can inflict a mortal wound in a situation where a single quick blow is given. The scenario in question is that of Dutfield's yard.
I don't like the pigs look like they're smiling. That makes me really sad. That's looking pretty good. None of them are scalpels. Let's just put that out of there. I think it's this one. Well, we're still here, which is a bad sign. How do I put them in the crime weapon section? How do I do that? How does one do that?
Let's try to use these weapons.
How do I do that? I have fought with the UI this entire game. I feel like I never know exactly what is able to be clicked on. With the help of one of your 4 knives, try to reproduce on the 3 heads the wounds indicated by Sherlock Holmes and determine which one. Click on the pig's head to get close-up image. Once you have selected one or several knives for each room, select one of the one or more knives and place the item. How do I place them though? How does one place? How does one place them though?
Let's see if these knives can inflict a... Let's try to use these weapons on this head to obtain a large deep wound to the throat, like those that were noted on 3 of the 4 victims.
Not large. I really like the long one for this one for certain. But I suppose it could also be that.
Let's try to decapitate our victim with these tools.
Charming.
I mean, this is just a mess. This just makes these big, massive old cuts. I don't know how to,
Let's try to use these weapons on...
I don't know how to progress. It's the problem, because I can't put things in the thing. I can't put things in the thing, and he's not giving me nothing to work with the experiment stuff up here. So I don't know. I can tell you with all my efforts and all my might that I cannot drag nothing anywhere. I want to drag so bad. And it does say, it's like, oh, you just put him in there. It's like, but how? My neighbor's horrible monster dog is barking, and I wish I could put his head on my desk like these pigs right now.
Let's try to use these weapons on this...
That doesn't help me at all.
Let's try to decapitate our victim with these...
Charming.
How...
Let's see if these knives can...
Maybe if I get a section of the experiment correct, he'll say, Sherlock Holmes will step in and say, oh, that's exactly right. That's exactly what I was thinking. And then the knives will be, like, once I finish the experiment part, maybe then they'll be touchable.
Let's try to
Which
use
is greatly
weapons.
concerning, because I don't know, like... I'm concerned. I'm just really
concerned. This little
concerned.
knife is very sharp and has a very wide blade.
Why did you say that?
Look, Watson, this knife easily penetrates the flesh. This little knife is very sharp and has a very... The wound is too shallow.
Interesting.
This pocket knife is very sharp, but its blade is too thin. Elementary.
Oh, I see. I literally have to literally fucking carve him up. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Let's try to decapitate our victim.
I literally, it's not just intuition. I literally have to do all of this business.
Look, Watson, this little knife with a wide base can easily slice the vertebrae of our porcine friend. The blade of this pocket knife is too thin to reach the vertebrae. With a scalpel, the wound is too shallow.
I find it's super weird. It's not that the resetting was no good, it's that he doesn't comment on the cutting until you change blades. Which is one of the big complaints I've had about the game, that the UI is shite. I don't know why, I progressed this experiment by accident, in that I clicked a blade while already having one, and yeah.
This knife with a long blade easily slices the flesh, but cannot dislocate the vertebrae. This knife with a long blade... Look, Watson, this little knife...
What made him say, by Jove, you've done it? last time.
This knife with a long blade easily slices. Look, Watson, this little knife with...
I'm just cutting and cutting,
The
man.
blade of this pocket knife is too thin to reach. Look, Watson, this little knife... This knife with a long blade easily slices. This knife with a long blade...
Elementary, okay? Elementary it, you fuck.
The blade of this pocket knife is too thin to reach the... The blade of this pocket knife is...
I don't know what he wants from me. Yeah, I don't know what he wants from me here.
This knife with a long blade easily slices the flesh, but cannot dislocate the vertebrae. Let's see if these knives can inflict a mortal wound in a situation where... Look, Watson, the blade sinks easily into the flesh. In using the cutting edge of this pocket knife's blade, I can scrape the skin. This particularly sharp blade can make a deep gash with one quick slice. It cuts through the flesh easily as the blade is so sharp. It cuts through the flesh.
I don't understand why the first one he's like, absolutely. And why in these ones he doesn't, because he said elementary twice, so surely having one of them clicked will enough to make him say, okay, that's fine. But he was just, it's terrible, it's terrible.
These tools. No.
Charming.
It's so terrible. Like, let me hold my head in my hands. It's so pathetic how I know exactly what they want, but just getting it there is like, it's like riding a bicycle with square wheels. Like, the mechanisms are there, but going forward is so fucking hard for no reason.
Look, Watson, this little knife with a wide base can easily slice the vertebrae of our porcine friend.
Mm-hmm. So they could slice the vertebrae, so that's out.
The blade of this pocket knife is too thin to reach the vertebrae.
Mm-hmm. So that means that theoretical... That could be a possibility.
With a scalpel, the
wound too shallow.
This knife with a long blade easily slices the flesh, but...
So that'd be you and you, right? But...
This knife with a long blade... Look, Watson, this little knife with a wide base can...
What about you two?
Look, Watson, this little knife...
If he can easily slice the vertebrae, then that wouldn't be it, because he could have done it. And this one's not it, because it's these two. So
this knife with a long blade...
Like, let it be.
This knife with a long blade...
What about that? Does that make you happy?
This knife with a long blade...
I don't understand. I don't understand why this one's like, oh, it's fine. And now it's not.
Let's try to...
How about a simple confirm? How about that? How about you put the check marks and you hit confirm? How about that? Is that hard to do? I mean, this is only the fucking 800th game these fucking goons have made.
Let's see if these knives can...
One couldn't expect them to make a goddamn UI that's functional.
Look, Watson, the blade sinks easily into the flesh.
Mm-hmm, so that's cool.
In using the cutting edge of this pocket knife's blade, I can scrape the skin.
Scrape, that doesn't sound good.
This particularly sharp blade can make a deep... It cuts through the flesh easily. Elementary.
See, so what's up with this one?
Let's try to decapitate our...
Charming.
I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss.
Look, Watson, this little knife with a wide base can easily slice the vertebrae of our porcine friend.
So the fact that they tried to... they didn't manage to do it, so it can't be that blade.
The blade of this pocket knife is too thin to reach the vertebrae. With a scalpel, the wound is too... This knife with a long blade easily slices the flesh. Elementary. That's it, Watson, the big knife. With respect to the opinion of the medical examiners who noted that a butcher's knife
The entire
with a long
time,
blade would have caused the eviscerations on some of the victims,
I
we can
wanted the
assume,
big
Watson,
knife this
that
whole
he only
time.
used this type of weapon as it is capable of inflicting all of the wounds displayed. Furthermore, the Dutfield's Yard murder remains attributable, for the moment, to the Whitechapel killer, if we are able to explain why the murderer used his knife in a different manner. Why not go there now? We will try to reenact the killer's actions that night. Our first objective will be to clarify, one way or another, the statements of Constable Smith, as well as this Hungarian by the name of Schwartz. We must also try to find out more about the International Working Men's Educational Club, underneath which the murder took place, perhaps at the Wasp's Nest.
Yes, let's go to Dutfield's Yard or wherever, but quickly. I am in urgent need of fresh air.
Let's go to the Wasp's Nest.
Okay. It might be, oh, no, they're dead. It might be 4 years before I play the next Sherlock Holmes game. Lost Nest is not this way. Or is it? I can't remember anymore. I don't know. I've gone to the Wasp Nest.
Don't forget the Bluto may still be hiding here. I will try
Blame
to find out
him.
more inside. You, Watson, must intercept the policeman on his rounds. Given the hour and a bit of luck, it will be Smith. Try to get some information from him.
Understood, Holmes.
I don't know why I've come here, except that Holmes told me to come here. Pluto?
No, I can't do that.
I can't. I mustn't. Bullying?
Hello.
I know you. You're Squibby's guardian angel. You weren't dressed the same last time, but I don't forget a face. No hard feelings, eh? Join me in a glass?
Your Jack the Ripper is on everyone's lips and written in all of the papers. You must be awfully proud of yourself. You have skill, that's for certain. It's a shame you use it to mask rather than discover the truth.
You better believe that I'm going to find out who it is. I got a hold of old Schwartz's interpreter. You know, the Hungarian who saw Liz Stride get it. Doesn't speak a word of English. And when he went round to the station, another Jew went along to interpret. I found that bloke, and he repeated everything that had been said at the station. It won't be long before I find these fellows.
Why do you say these fellows? Were there several of them?
Do you not read the papers, or what? Well, given the rubbish that you read sometimes, let me explain. At 12:45 a.m., Schwartz goes down Berners Street towards Fairclough, on the side of the road where the Workers' Club is. Bit further from there, just near Dutfield Yard's wooden doors, a chap and a lady are arguing. The Star said that the bloke wanted to push the girl into Dutfield's yard, but the translator told me that Schwartz saw him pulling her towards the road. She doesn't want to follow. He grabs her by the shoulders and throws her to the ground. She falls. Bawls a bit, but not too loudly. Old Schwartz is scared, crosses to the other side, but continues in the same direction. The bloke with the girl notices him and yells, "Lipsky!" At the same time, another bloke at the corner of Fairclough and Burner who was lighting his pipe gets in on the action. He starts coming towards Schwartz in a menacing way, and Schwartz takes to his heels, doesn't see anything else. Once he finds out that a woman got herself killed, he went to testify, and identified Long Liz Stride as the woman he saw getting thrown about. So there were definitely two blokes, mate. But why am I telling you all this?
In vino veritas. I'll take my leave then, Mr. Bulling.
That's right. Till next time.
I'm missing some information.
What am I missing? You.
A draft, my good man.
Here, sir.
Tell me, was it not a mere stone's throw away from here that the Whitechapel killer struck last week?
That'd be Jack the Ripper, that's his name. Slit the throat of a working girl in a small courtyard over there behind them big wooden doors.
Below the Workers' Club?
The very spot, below Lipsky and Co. I wouldn't be surprised if Jack was one of them, if you catch my drift.
The Jews.
Lipsky and Company. Do you mean to say that someone called Lipsky runs this club?
Nah, it's just that it's full of Jews. In Whitechapel, we call them all Lipskys, like that Lipsky who killed that girl in Batty Street last year.
Oh, really?
Last year, a Jew named Israel Lipsky killed a lass who was 6 months pregnant by making her drink acid. One trial and one protest by rabbis later, and he was hanging. By those who don't much like him, the Jews are called Lipskys.
Is the term Lipskys used to refer to the Jews in the area, and is this club frequented by Jews?
You got it. Socialist Jews, even. They spend their evenings hollering, singing. I've seen them spitting on the bosses.
Singing. We hate singing round these parts.
And you know the victim?
No more her than any other. The working girls don't drum up business too much in this street. They need a reason to end up here.
Very well. Goodbye.
Cheers.
First and foremost, I must find P.C. Smith.
Is that you?
Good evening, Constable.
Good evening, sir.
I am Dr. Watson. Would you happen to be P.C. Smith, the man who patrols this beat?
That's me. And you work with the famous Sherlock Holmes, don't you? What can I do for you?
I believe you were on duty the night when the murder took place here. You would certainly be able to confirm a few details, such as the time of death that the medical examiner gave.
It's just that I wasn't there when the body was discovered. I don't think I can help you.
Well, you're not very helpful at all.
But I was told that you had seen the victim that very night.
Indeed. But it was before the murder. I saw her, not far from here. She was talking to a man. It was around 12:30 or 12:35 a.m.
What did this man look like?
I only saw him from behind, really. He was wearing a short black outfit, a small felt hat like a cap in a dark colour, and a white collar.
Rabbi?
He seemed to be a respectable type. He was carrying a packet in his hand wrapped in newspaper, about 18 inches long and about 6 inches wide.
His outfit reminds me of someone that I know. Was he a large man, on the older side?
I don't think so, no. Even though I only saw him from behind, I would say that he was barely 30 years old, or even less. Say 28, or even less. 26 years old, and 5 foot 8 inches tall at the very most. He had a small dark brown moustache and an olive complexion, I would say, but once again, I only caught a brief glimpse of his face in three-quarter profile.
Nobody else saw this man?
I discussed this previously with Mr. Eagle, the president of the Workers' Club. That night he returned around 12:40 a.m. to the club. He used the passage through Dutfield's yard to get into the club, because the main door was locked. He can attest that he didn't see anyone else in the passage at that time, but wasn't really paying attention to who else might have been in Burner Street itself. He was listening to the song coming from the club. In short, no one else saw him.
Well, thank you for having satisfied my curiosity, my friend.
A fine evening to you, Doctor.
Well, Watson, let's go to Dutfield's yard.
Dutfield's yard. I don't actually know where the hell that is. I mean, I know where the funny club is. I thought that was a body bag on the street. I mean, I theoretically know where the funny club is. I've seen it. I've talked about it. But the city is a labyrinth. Let's wander. Let's wander about Whitechapel at night. People, they just lay in the street. Looking for Dutfield Yard. Dutfield. We have such nice names for places around here. Like Dutfield Yard. Well, I did the biggest loop in the world when I circled.
Dutfield's yard.
Oh, I was here and let's go to Dutfield's yard and right here. Woo! Okay.
Your interrogation of P.C. Smith has proven to be very shrewd and of great interest. Thanks to the information I've managed to gather and that you were able to read in my notes in Baker Street, Watson, we can recreate what happened that fateful night at this location, Dutfield's Yard to be precise, the site of Liz Stride's murder.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Alright. So when did the meeting end? Let's just okay.
"12:20 a.m. The American leaves the Socialists Club for some fresh air. The street is deserted. 12:30 to 12:35 a.m. Smith notices Liz Stride talking to the man with the package. 12:40 a.m. Eagle, the president of the club, enters the workers' club via the passageway through Dutfield's yard. He passed through Dutfield's yard. If Liz Stride had already been killed, he would have had to walk over her. The murder, therefore, had not yet happened.
I'd like to just pull that down so it's not covering that up.
At 12:43 a.m., Israel Swartz passes by Dutfield's yard and witnesses the attack on Liz Stride. At 12:44 a.m., Schwartz crosses to the other side of the road. The attacker sees him and yells, "Lipsky." The attacker must have shouted to his accomplice at the end of the road, "Lipsky," indicating at Schwartz using his head in an attempt to scare off this undesirable. 12:45 a.m., Schwartz runs away, followed for a short distance by this man. 1 a.m., Mr. Diemschutz wants to enter with his cart, but the pony refuses. We know that the murder took place between 12:45 and 1 a.m. Mr. Diemschutz, therefore, must have disturbed the killer.
Put this down.
Midnight, the Socialist Club meeting ends. The members, mainly Jewish men, gradually begin to leave the club in little groups or alone. Let's place Liz Stride's murder on the timeline, Watson. 12:45 to 1 a.m., the murder of Liz Stride. It took place in this very spot, as the traces of blood were very confined. We will come back to this point in a few moments to elaborate on what could have happened. Well, we are still missing certain information in order to finish this investigation, Watson.
Oh, I see. Anything else? No. Okay. Just her.
Watson, imagine the victim laid down there on the ground. Her left hand, it is closed around a bag of pastils.
What the hell's a pastel? I asked that earlier.
Her right hand, it is bloody, as is her wrist.
Possibly from gripping her own throat after getting got.
The throat, there is but one clean cut, slightly slanted downwards. The throat, there is. Her knees and dress, they are clean. Her knees and dress, they are clean.
Click on everything.
The ground is muddy.
Thank God, okay. I've learned everything. Maybe it's a jelly bean. She's eating the jelly bellies. Okay. Ground's dirty. The knees and the dress at the bottom. The knees and the bottom of the dress and the front are clean. So that means victim didn't struggle. I'm gonna put that there for now because, like, I mean, I presume, yeah, you slit her throat and then you lay her down. I mean, we'll get back to that. Wound. Starting from the... Oh no, we're gonna. I hate the handedness ones. I hate the handedness ones. They're the worst. Was a Mezzaluna? I don't know. I don't remember what I did earlier with the fucking funny blades. Okay, I don't remember. I don't remember. Thank you for being green. Thank you. I hate my memory palace. It's fucking so tired. Oh my God. Oh, that's a lot of deductions over there. Oh. We'll get back to this. Can't I can't close that out whenever I click them like that. How would I possibly know? How in any level of fucking hell would I possibly know? I wanna die. I wanna die. We're so close to what I want. They won't let me have it. Whatever. I'll just make guesses. Well, I mean, if the murderer is strong, that would mean that the killer is strong. Obviously. Why wouldn't it? This shite. Get out of there. And of course this one has so many little things going towards it. Chardonnay wasn't wrong. It absolutely wasn't superficial. So that's up and down. That's an up and down. That's what that is. Maybe shorter? Nope. To find out what the button was. I mean, it's an up and down, but it could be someone being short and swinging up. Perhaps. Although maybe they would go, I don't know. I don't fucking know, and they designed this last one up here to have so many different variants that you can't check off to make it to where you could just be sitting here twiddling your thumbs. I don't... She was killed upright. She didn't struggle on the ground. She wouldn't have struggled on the ground because she was already dead by the time she was on the ground. So she was killed while she was upright. They were standing at the time of the mortal blow. I don't know about this. I don't know. And I don't know about this. And since you have to get the whole thing right... Since we have to get the whole thing right, that means I look it up on the walkthrough. That's what that means. So I'm not gonna sit here for the next fucking hour fucking diddling around with this fucking bullshit like that. I'm not gonna do it. It just like makes me sad. She's a killer queen, top of everything, dynamite with a laser beam, baby, the blow your mind. Boom, boom, bam, 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 boom, 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 bam, bam. She's a boy, complications. There we go.
We have two possibilities.
That's one
The
off.
first is that Liz Stride's killer and the attacker, seen by Schwartz, were one and the same man. The second is that Liz Stride meets a client. After some discussion, they head towards Dutfield's yard to do their business. As soon as they arrive, the attacker appears while his accomplice keeps watch. Schwartz's arrival dissuades the two men from lingering. They leave the area and leave Liz Stride in a tense state, but
I think
glad
I'll
to
play
have
all the
kept her
Sherlock
client.
Holmes games, and then
He
I'll
will be her
fucking
murderer.
live stream
Both
myself jumping off a
hypotheses are
goddamn
possible,
building.
But an incongruous
I'll dress up
detail
like
will
Sherlock
serve to
Holmes,
corroborate one of
and
them.
then jump off a building.
An incongruous detail that we were able to establish regarding the Hanbury Street murder. Which one would that be, Watson?
Don't ask me questions. I wasn't
Look
even
at the victim
listening.
carefully,
I wasn't
Watson,
even listening.
And tell me the
Sherlock.
link between the murder of Liz Stride and those of Nichols and Chapman.
I just wasn't. I'm sorry, Sherlock. I wasn't listening to a fucking thing you said. I was just thinking about blowing my brains out, Sherlock. I wasn't paying attention to none of that shit you just said. Hopefully, I took note of it in my mind brain, in my brain mind, in my brain mind. What'd you say? Okay. Sherlock, this definitely sounds like you know the answer, and you're like fucking testing me because you're a sad, sad little man.
No, that's not it.
The bag of pastels,
The
Holmes?
jelly beans.
The bag of pastels. Indeed, Watson. If this woman had to defend herself against an attacker, why would she have held onto this bag in her hand? It didn't fall because this woman's hand tensed at the moment when she fell to the ground. Therefore, Watson, we know the killer distracted his victim's attention by making them take something out of their pockets. Why didn't he slit her throat like the others? He must have feared a struggle with this strong-willed woman. Why didn't he eviscerate her? Because Louis Diemschutz arrived.
Do you think the Whitechapel killer is behind this murder, Holmes?
Yes, and now this murder has been linked to its rightful perpetrator, it will take on deeper meaning when we have examined the facts from that night. Let's go to Mitre Square, where Catherine Eddowes was killed. And make haste, Watson, as we have another murder to commit in 40 minutes. Here we are, Watson, Mitre Square. It took us a mere 20 minutes to get here. If the killer left Dutfield's yard around 1 o'clock, as we assume, he would have arrived here at around 1:20 a.m.
He didn't get his
We
organs in
know
the
that
previous
Catherine
kill,
Eddowes'
is what he's
body was
saying.
discovered at 1:44 a.m. Catherine was released from prison around 1 o'clock, but we have no information as to what she could have been doing until her death. This place has 3 possible ways out. Let's see where they lead. As a precaution, I brought an old map of the area with me. It will help us get our bearings.
Let's hurry, Holmes. This neighborhood makes me ill at ease.
Lovely. Save. Okay. Well, I took that.
This is Mitre Street, from where Watkins, the constable who found the body, came. Nothing of interest here.
Like my always run mode was not on. Oh.
Watson, we are now in the exact spot where poor Eddowes tragically ended her days.
This spot is very dark, Holmes.
That is probably why our murderer chose it. Turn on the light, Watson. Now then, we will need a lantern.
Yeah, like this.
Now then, we will need a lantern.
I have a lantern.
I need something.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Now then, we will need a lantern.
I have one. Ain't got no batteries?
Take the lantern,
Oh, okay.
Watson.
There you go. I see. I didn't have matches in my pocket before. They put matches in my pocket, I feel, just so I can light that. Why wouldn't they just make it lit in my inventory, Watson? Why would they do that? Why would they make me do that?
Do these objects spread out by the victim remind us of anything, Watson?
I don't want to look at you yet.
A thimble is located right beside one of the victim's hands, just like Chapman's sachet of pills and Stride's pastils. The main incision goes from the sternum all the way down to the groin. The murderer opened this abdomen as if it were an animal carcass. A kidney was removed. The uterus was removed. These intestines were pulled out altogether to grant access to the abdomen. The head is turned towards the left. The murderer must have been on the right side of his victim. Let's look at her from the front.
Oh.
The nose was cut. The cheeks were slashed to make them thinner. The eyelids were cut off.
Man, I am very curious in the other victim I sent the picture of that one time where she's just like a bag of bones, basically. I wonder if we'll actually get into that.
There is but one wound, Watson. It goes from the left side and descends in a slight oblique towards the right side. The eyelids were cut off.
I'm afraid to back out. I want Sherlock to back out.
The cheeks were slashed to make them.
Because whenever I back out, sometimes it means I miss something, and then I'm gonna be here for the rest of my life.
Part of this apron is missing. We will follow up on that shortly. The inside of the thighs is clean. Once again, there were no sexual relations between the victim and her murderer.
My goodness, Holmes, it was a slaughter.
Understand, Watson, that our killer had neither the time nor the conditions to bother with the niceties. He had no more than 7 or 8 minutes at most to kill the woman, open her up, and all the while in total darkness.
Holmes, it's a woman, a poor victim you're talking about.
Consider all the time this man lost and the risks that he actually took by cutting the victim's face and the lower abdomen in around 20 precise spots, especially the lungs and the liver. These attacks, which I considered gratuitous, are in fact nothing of the sort and have as much sense as the removal of the organs. We must, first and foremost, locate the 3 exits leading to Mitre Square, Watson.
Okay.
Church Passage. It must be opposite the Imperial Club at 16 to 17 Duke Street. Let's go.
What an ominous... Ooh, look at that image. It's coming for you.
Hello, you must be Abraham Solomonovich, am I right?
Yes, that's me. But I know you. You brought a lad to my place to take care of a cat, and I loaned you my mask.
That's me. May I present?
Dr. Watson, of course. Delighted. And you? I have known for a few days that you are a detective by the name of Sherlock Holmes. Is that so?
You don't miss a thing, do you? It was the children who gave me away. Am I right?
They didn't want to, but I gained their confidence by offering them a small comb and half a cake.
They made a good deal out of it, so I don't blame them. However, I must request, as a personal favour, that you do not reveal my identity.
You have my word. Curiosity is just killing me, as you may have guessed. Would it be breaking an oath to confide in me the nature of the investigation that you are leading?
Does this spot where we are now in Mitre Square mean anything to you?
A demon lives in this city, Mr. Holmes. These unmentionable acts degrade the human race and put the Jewish community in terrible danger.
Lots of rumours are circulating, but they are but rumours. I see you're leaving the Imperial Club. It's a stone's throw away from Mitre Square, and the 2 recent murders were most probably discussed in there. Do you know if anyone from the club saw or heard anything that night?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. That night, 3 members of our club saw a woman talking to a man at the very spot where we are standing, a few minutes before the body was found, at the end of this passage. Fantastic, Holmes.
Calm yourself, Watson. There is nothing at the moment to suggest it was the victim. Can we meet these members?
I am afraid that won't be possible. As soon as the police heard the evidence of these men, they were sworn to silence.
I understand.
But you are working for the good, and I must tell you what I know. One of the 3 men, my friend Joseph, left that night with 2 other members of the Imperial Club, Harry and another Joseph. It was around 1:35 a.m., perhaps a bit earlier, when Joseph, not my friend, but the other, the Aldgate butcher, exited. He saw a man and a woman in discussion at this very spot where we are.
These men must have been about 16 feet away from the couple.
That's about right. So Joseph, the butcher, said to the other 2, while pointing at the couple, "Look, I don't like going home alone when I see this kind of people here." My friend Joseph looked at them without noticing anything strange and didn't understand what he meant. They had the look of 2 rather unkempt people, but no more than that.
After the murder, did these 3 men tell the police what they had seen?
Not quite. Harry stated that he hadn't seen the couple. As for Joseph, the butcher, even though he was the one who commented on them and pointed them out, said that he couldn't remember anything except that the man was about 3 inches taller than the woman, who was 5 feet tall, no more. My friend Joseph, on the other hand, did his best to cooperate with the police.
And what did your friend Joseph say? What did this man and woman look like?
The man must have been 30 years old, about 5'7", light complexion, and a fair moustache. He wore a loose, dark jacket, a grey cap, and a red scarf around his neck. But he said that he only saw him for a brief instant, and it would be impossible to recognize him.
And the woman?
He only saw her from behind. She had her hand on the man's stomach and seemed to be pushing him. He said that he remembered that she was small, was wearing a black jacket and a black bonnet. After his testimony, the police took him to see the clothing of the deceased, and Joseph said that they looked identical to those of the woman he had seen. Like I already said, he only glanced at the 2, as he was headed with the others in the direction of Aldgate.
One final question. The Imperial Club is a Jewish club, isn't that correct?
Indeed.
Thank you for your help, Mr. Solomonovich.
Bah, it was nothing. We must at all cost prevent this demon from striking again, and the police seem to have some difficulty in doing that. I wish you the best of luck, Mr. Holmes.
Well, he was full of information. Jesus.
This building is the Great Synagogue of London.
It's not what I would normally associate with looking like a synagogue.
Closed.
Closed. to save.
The Imperial Club. I have no reason to go that way.
Well, then why are you giving me the option to click on it? How about that?
Nothing of interest here.
It is
Nothing of interest here.
stupidly dark in some of these alleyways. There's the passage, the synagogue. Alley that's blocked off there. So it'd be that, St. James Passage, and Mitre Street are the three ways to get out. Look at that abyssal darkness.
Nothing of interest here. This dark and narrow passage leads to St. James's Place. Watson, we must now consult our timeline. We began in Dutfield's yard, but this time we will try to recreate the actions of certain people. In this case, those of the two policemen.
Okay.
"1:30 a.m. P.C. Watkins didn't see the corpse while on his rounds." If P.C. Watkins did his rounds properly, and there is no reason to doubt this was the case, as he discovered the corpse a quarter of an hour later, the murder hadn't yet taken place, and there was no one in Mitre Square, unless they were hidden among the shadows. Enter Mitre Square via Mitre Street, Watson, and stop and try to see me with the lantern. I will be where poor Edow's corpse was.
Enter from which road? Mitre Square from Mitre Street. That's what confused me. The Mitre and Mitre is very confusing. So that'd be the big open place. So yeah,
I have no reason to go that way. I see you, Holmes.
Perfect, Watson. Let's look at our timeline, Watson.
Watson was fucking standing there like Sherlock Holmes was standing there like a spooky little bastard.
Very good, Watson. Thus we can categorically state that the murder had not yet occurred at 1:30. 1:35 a.m. A man and a woman are arguing at the entrance of Church Passage. The man came from Aldgate. 1:42 a.m. P.C. Harvey arrives in Mitre Square. It should be noted, Watson, that the constable didn't enter Mitre Square. He could not have seen the corpse lying on the ground. But would he have been able to see a man sitting or standing? Go to the Church Passage entrance, then come back and try to see me while holding your lantern. I will stay at the spot where the victim was discovered.
Gotcha. This is the passage, yeah.
I see you, Holmes.
You had to proceed into the square in order to see me, something Harvey didn't do. It is possible that the killer was still there. 1:42 a.m. P.C. Harvey arrives at Mitre Square, but does not go in. The murderer may well have still been there.
I like this bit. I like this bit. I like it when we're doing the actual, the stuff and the things, and not the bullshit and the idiot.
1:44 a.m. The body is discovered. Let's put the murder of poor Eddowes on the timeline, Watson. (1:35 and 1:42 a.m. The murder would appear to have taken place between these times, that is to say, within 7 minutes.
Agreed, Holmes.
But does this really prove that our killer had the time to perpetrate these 2 murders?
Let's look at our timeline, Watson.
I like it when we're doing detective stuff and not just like bollocks and shit and ass.
There, Watson. We are now certain that the murderer really had the time to commit these 2 murders.
Incredible!
Let's look at our deduction board, Watson.
Oh, piss. Oh my God. It's meant for a woman. They were giving some suggestions there that I would not associate with Jack the Ripper. Oh, Jesus, there's lots of stuff I didn't do here. The wound to the neck goes from the right. Oh no, we're doing the handedness. Just turn him down towards the corner. How would one how would one parse that from that? Whatever.
This spot is making me nauseous. Can we not head back, Holmes?
We certainly can't, Watson. We have one final point to address. Do you remember the piece of white apron that was missing just now? It was found just a few steps away from here, at the entrance of a building. That's where we must go. Let's go.
We're just going from location to location to location tonight,
There's
huh?
the spot, Watson. By night, Goulston Street is deathly silent, which will permit us to carry out a fair few experiments. Let's find the entrance where the piece of the victim's apron and the mysterious chalk message were found.
Save. They keep turning my run off.
Look at these signs, Watson. We are in the Jewish High Street. Look at these signs, Watson. We are in the Jewish High Street.
But that Solomovich is not from here. He's from the other place.
I have no reason to go that way.
Do I just need to
Look
look
at these
all?
signs, Watson. We are...
Son, listen, you can't have me just do this. You can't just repeat yourself.
Look
like
at these
this.
signs, Watson.
This can't possibly be what you want me to do.
Look at these signs, Watson. We are in... at these signs, Watson.
Uh-huh. Is goingable?
I have no reason to go that way.
It's spooky anyway.
Look at these signs, Watson. We are in the Jewish...
I'm looking.
Look at these signs, Watson.
Are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? The fuck's the matter with these people? That they would do that? That they would have the ability to click on each individual sign
Nothing
like
of
that?
interest here.
What the hell do you want? What do you want even? I looked at the signs. What do you mean? Uh-huh. What about them? Watch, get your ass over here with the light. It's dark as hell. Little shit. And that's the spooky stairs.
Nothing of
I
interest
can't
here.
go that way. Well, what do you want? What do you want? About to have like a nervous breakdown. There's... Mr. Holmes, I don't know what you want. Watson, do I need to talk to you?
Pray, let us find the entrance in which the piece of the victim's apron and the mysterious chalk message were found.
Yeah, well, where the hell is that? Wish I could fucking see.
I have no reason
You
to go
shut
that
up.
way.
Hmm. Is this it? That's
There's
it.
the spot where the
Ah,
apron
that's
and the
I see. I
message
had to
were
wait
found
for
by
Watson's
T.T.
fat ass to
Let's
show up with the
recreate scene.
goddamn light.
Remember, Watson, it was raining that night. Find me something with which to mimic raindrops hitting this wall while I write something with my chalk.
Raindrops?
The Jews are not the men that will be blamed for nothing. But what does it mean?
Have you found something for us to pour water from, Watson?
Find a container and some water. Let me remind you that it's night time and the street is deserted, Holmes.
And Holmes will stand there all creepily now. Where's my water?
Water.
Water.
That may come in handy. Who knows?
I'll just take this.
An old wooden pole. A merchant probably threw it out.
I'll take that. Oh. Oh.
A watering can. That's what I need. But I can't reach it.
Bizarre.
A watering can. That's what I need.
The hell am I missing? Get him just vampiring about over here. He is spooky. After a while, it does get to the point where you basically can't see him. Oh. Oh, there you go.
A watering can.
What do you want from me, monster?
I have no reason to go that way.
I want it noted that I've tried to do this a million times. That right there. And so if it turns out it's like, oh, you just combine them later, it's like, I did try it a bunch of times.
A watering can.
You can reach it. You have a fucking pole. Hook it through the hoop and grab it. Hook it through the hoop and grab it, you son of a bitch.
want from me, game? What could you possibly want from me?
All I want is to progress. Okay. Oh,
that may come in handy. Who knows?
Get it now. Water. Mr. Holmes, I've done your dark task. You're not over here, are you? No, he's over here. Water.
Have you found something for us to pour water from, Watson?
I have.
Yes, I have, Holmes.
Mm-hmm.
If this message were written by the killer, then it would have been lying in this entrance for up to 35 minutes before being discovered. Let's find out in what state it must have been. This message could not have withstood an entire night in the rain. During the investigations carried out on the night of the double murder, PC Hulse inspected the entrances of this street around 2:20 a.m. and confirmed to have seen nothing out of the ordinary. At 2:55 a.m., 35 minutes later, PC Long found Catherine Edow's piece of apron
Message
and the
was
message
not written
in
by the
chalk.
killer.
This message would not have withstood a whole night in the rain, as had I continued to water it for a little longer, I would certainly have erased it. It was written, therefore, at the moment when the piece of apron was dumped. This substantiates PC Hulse's statement, which stated he had seen neither of these during his rounds. After its discovery, it was guarded and protected from the rain, which was subsiding, which explains why it was still legible when it was erased at 5:30. My dear Watson, when you met P.C. Smith on his rounds in the street, where was he? On the pavement or in the middle of the road?
In the middle of the road, Holmes, without a shadow of a doubt.
Good. You will go down the street with your lantern as if you were a policeman on patrol, using Smith's position as a guide. As soon as you see the entrance where I used the watering can, tell me if you see anything.
There, Holmes. From here, I can see something written.
Can you read it?
No.
Do you see the white rag, Watson?
I see something on the ground, but I'm not sure if it's what you were talking about.
P.C. Long, who found the piece of apron, was examining the interior of the entrances, and yet nobody would have predicted that this piece of material would be discovered on the very night of the murder by a policeman on patrol.
What are you trying to get at, Holmes?
Let's look at this message on the wall, Watson. The Jews are not the men that will be blamed for nothing. In other words, the Jews were possibly blamed for nothing, but that will no longer be the case. Reading this message naturally begs one question. What would that be, Watson?
Don't do it.
Why?
Indeed,
Oh my God.
Watson, why? For what reason would one have the right
I'm
to blame the
terrified
Jews in the future? Remember,
of them asking me a
Stride was killed
question.
near a club for socialist Jews, Edow's not far from a synagogue and the Imperial Club, and finally, this piece of apron dropped here. This building is occupied by Jewish families. The killer really did go out of his way to incriminate the Jews living in the area.
It's a bit obvious, Holmes.
Yes, but with the rumors, Watson, the author of this message would have received a response to his strategy.
You are right, Holmes. So perhaps it's a good thing this message was erased.
Whoever took the decision to do this is a man of great wisdom and courage. Let's return to Baker Street, Watson. I have some pipes to smoke to help me think more clearly.
Let's go back to Baker Street. Home, sweet home.
Let's go back to Baker Street. I'm saving. But every time they ask me a question, I'm so afraid that the blank thing will happen where they want me to type something out. It has not happened this game. Perhaps they understand that it was trash and that it's gone and it should die off.
I had nightmares all night, Holmes. As for you, I bet you didn't get a wink of sleep, did you? It's this chalk message business, isn't it?
Among other things.
And this lunatic is still running free. If only we knew what he looked like.
But we do know, Watson. We have a fairly accurate description.
I must have missed an episode of your adventures, Holmes. Not only have I heard you discredit the value of our eyewitnesses, but the few descriptions we do have don't seem to correspond.
An inaccurate account can regain its value if we can discover why and to what extent the truth must be rewritten. We've learned a great many things tonight, and I'm able to tell you what our man looks like.
Really?
Yes.
I know he has
we're going to need a few things, Watson. Find me 3 mannequins, my worker's costume, my 3 full wigs, one of your worn garments. Yes, that can be used for the workman's outfit, and one of your old suits. Oh, and my deer stalker, the one I never wear, but everyone seems to think I wear day and night.
They like to point about that one, about the deer stalker. They've brought that up before. I sense a puzzle afoot. What an empty closet.
We shall place our mannequins here, Watson.
There's so many mannequins about. Thank you for being so slow.
A wig! This will come in handy.
Didn't you say 3 mannequins? I was going to say, didn't he say 3 mannequins? That is everything. Perhaps. I've grabbed a lot of shit.
So, as for one of the murders, we have no witnesses whatsoever. As for the 3 other, we have at least one person who claims to have seen the victims talking to a man a few minutes before their death. Do you remember whom these would be, Watson?
No. No, I don't. Height 60. Is that inches? Centimeters? Because they've done that metric and imperial shit on me before. "60 inches would be 5 feet. So I'm just going to assume that these are inches. Alright. Square. When they were giving me all the heights and everything like that, I knew that this dark day was going to occur to me. Hmm. Who was someone else who gave us a description? I don't recall. Have him. I don't recall a third person giving us a description. But they have like 3 slots. There's 3 things of... Oh, piss. If it was said fucking 30 million years ago. Or it was written in some document or something. We went through a lot of shit, let me tell you. Well, that's a dark fucking situation in that I can't recall another description. Not a good start. Alright. This dude has 2 Josephs, so let's start with him. I'm gonna get out my own little notebook so I can jot down stuff as it comes up so I don't have to keep going back and forth. Because that would be annoying. Get my pen ready. Alright, so I care about height, age. Okay. Alright. What did the man look like? I saw him only from behind. He was wearing a short black outfit. Short black. Small felt hat. Felt hat. Cap. Dark. White collar. Respectable. "26 years old. "5'8". Alright. Work off of that. So 5'8", that'd be what, 68? 24, 30, 12, 24, 36, 48. 60, yeah, so that'd be 68. A giant. Age 26. Did he give anything on his hair? Remember he said he was of olive complexion. Small, dark brown mustache. Olive. Small black outfit. Respectable. Felt cap dark. Wait, let me put that on anybody. Oh yeah, there we go. Did you call that dark? Am I missing things? Oh no, is this 6 foot? I think that's 6 foot. There we go. Because, yeah, it goes up to 5'11". Alright. So that's 5'8". Wonderful. It says he was wearing a felt cap, dark. I wonder if there are more more clothing. Oh, yep. Exactly what I was looking for.
There we are. Magnificent.
Bam! Got that one. Fantastic. Alright. Let's look over Solomovich's statement again. His is confusing because he's got the 2 Josephs and all that bullshit going on. Alright. Height. Age. Description. Damon. Fantastic. Time. He described them as unkempt. Three inches taller than the woman. She was 5 foot tall. No more, so 5'3", that's a short man. That's a very short man. That's much closer. That's much closer to the age, the height that we've been working with here. 30. Light complexion. Fair mustache. So like I said, we know he's got a mustache. That's consistent. Loose dark jacket. Red scarf. Anything else about him? No. Alright. So you pegged him at 5'7".
There is an error, Watson. Let's reread Abraham's testimony. Indeed, Watson, that's the right size for Abraham's mannequin. The account given by Mr. Solomonovich's friend is incorrect.
I did read
in
it,
at least
Sherlock,
one point.
okay?
The first Joseph said that the man was at least 5 foot 7 inches tall. The second Joseph said he was 3 inches taller than the victim, whom we know was 5 feet tall, which would suggest a height of 5 foot 3 inches. Don't forget that it was this second Joseph who attracted his friend's attention towards the couple on the other side of the road. We can assume he got a very good look at them.
Okay, so he's short as hell. Loose dark jacket. Fair mustache. I don't think he mentioned a hat. Did he? Gray cap.
There we are. Magnificent.
But I don't know a third one. Who else gave an account? I don't recall who gave another account. Bowling doesn't give any information. This guy just tells us about the Lipsky thing. But no actual specifics. And none of this. This is just about the blades. He didn't say anything. He hasn't seen nothing about nothing. That's about poor Hardiman. Slaughterhouse stuff. Squibby talks about the doctor trying to get fresh with him. And letters. Now we're at a time before these other murders even happened. Saying if it's possible that some ancient document we have or something mentioned it. Ah ha 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 ha. Ah ha 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 ha. Ah ha 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 ha. Right here. Boom. Like, one of the first things we got in the whole goddamn game. Bastards. Alright, height. Five feet 2 inches. So he's short as hell. We have 2 accounts of him being short as fuck. 35 to 40 years old. This is a false alarm. How do I remove ye? Hold on, go back. I was describing a victim. Got excited. Scribble that out. I thought the age was a little too old on it. What about this? Yep. Deer Stalker, this is it. Found it. Five feet 3 inches. Age 40. That's a little old, given. Deer Stalker. Dark coat, but they doubt it, so I'm gonna question mark that. Working class. Dark hair and mustache. Look like a foreigner. Alright.
Bravo, Watson. There are our 3 witnesses.
You're damn right. I enjoy this part. I like it when we're doing detectiving. Damn it. God damn it!
As for young P.C. Smith's account, he must have been mistaken about this person's real height. It is only an inch or 2 after all, and we can attribute the same height as the other 2.
40. Then, Deer Stalker.
Excellent. Now, on to the next step.
What is the next step? This is all locked in.
Bravo, Watson. Our mannequins have been recreated based on the correct accounts. Now, Watson, let's see in what ways these statements differ and how the witnesses could have been mistaken. Let's look at these wigs and moustaches. Let's start by taking the first Joseph's testimony, who saw the man head-on in a well-lit spot and in which he noted fair hair. Now, let's consider the same person, but in the lighting and angle of the other two witnesses, in the darkness of night, with poor artificial lighting from above. Put out the light, Watson. Thus, poor lighting and a backlit subject can affect our perception of shades and colours. The wigs from Abraham's mannequin took on the same colour as the other two. The three testimonies, therefore, don't contradict one another, and we can apply the same facial hair to all three mannequins. Turn on the light, Watson.
Lovely. So do you want me to make them all blonde or dark? Do you want them to be all blonde?
Yes, I have, Holmes.
Well done, Watson. With regards to the murderer's hair, the three witnesses should agree on Abraham's testimony. As Joseph is the only one who saw our man in full light, his hair must therefore be fair. You see, Watson, it is hard to draw objective conclusions when one is an eyewitness to an event. This leads us to reconsider the various statements regarding the supposed age of the man. Even if you are face to face with someone in full light and for a period of several hours, to what extent can you determine their exact age? And even more so if you observe them for only a few seconds and or from behind. We must allow some flexibility when considering our witnesses' statements, but always scientific flexibility.
Very nice. I'm going to save. Oh, Jesus. Scared. Excuse me? What are you asking? That's by, so, is this going to be by 3 years now? 27 to 30, and then...
Perfect, Watson.
I see. How weird. It's a Bizarro system. I get what they're doing here, but this is another instance where the UI was really weird, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you want from me, but I get it now, but It's a little gross. Little gross. Okay. Get what they're asking now. I just don't like it.
Perfect, Watson.
So that's the 10. And these are some crazy variants in years.
Excellent. Now, on to the next step.
Yes, I have, Holmes.
Now that we have fully considered the witness accounts, let's see to what extent they agree. If we apply the range of error for each of our dummies, we can deduce the age of our murderer as precisely as possible.
Um, 33? Is that what you're asking me?
Perfect, Watson.
Yeah.
Within a margin of 1 year, Watson, the age of our murderer is 33 years.
But the man described by Smith was dressed respectably, whereas the other two were poorly dressed.
Indeed, but Whitechapel's respectively could quite easily describe the Sunday bests that all lower-class men own. Now, let's place ourselves in the shoes of Liz Stride's killer. He has just slain his victim and sees Louis Diemschutz discover her body. Our killer is at great risk if he stays in the area. He therefore gets away from this spot. But he wants to kill again. However, he might have been spotted in the area before having committed the murder by a constable on his round, perhaps, who managed to get his description. What do you think the killer will do?
I'll piss.
No, that's not it. No, Watson. No, Watson.
No.
No, that's not it.
So he doesn't like Flea at all. Oh, can I?
No, that's not
these,
it. No, that's not it. No, that's not it.
We've gone right back to what am I thinking? It's like it's so close. Like we had a stretch there. Where it's like it's good, it's good. Oh, we're back to what am I thinking? Yeah, that's literally what this is. This is Sherlock Holmes. What am I thinking? Ask, parse it for me.
No, that's not it.
All right. I'm not playing this little game. They're so close. I think it pisses me off even more. I think if it was just consistently shit, it wouldn't bother me as much. But it's that it like has these moments where it's like, oh my god, it's like what I want, and then it's this. Have to go to the next page. Blah, blah, blah. So it's apparently return home.
No,
Nope,
that's
I
not
misclicked.
Go back home or to a safe location, change his
There you
clothes,
go.
and leave again in search of another victim.
That's what he was thinking.
It's the only possible explanation, Watson. The man returned to the safety of his lodgings and then decided to go out again with new clothes and repeat his sinister nocturnal work.
How you would
That's
know
how
that?
The discrepancies between the
No
witnesses with regards to clothing can be explained.
What a cold-blooded animal.
And what determination! Powerful motives are pushing this man. Thus, we can conclude that the respectable man with the package may very well have been seen by the two Josephs.
Even if it is just a mannequin, it's giving me goosebumps. But have we really made any progress, Holmes? I mean, there must be thousands of men in Whitechapel who match this description, wouldn't you say?
You're right, Watson. We have worked on who, now let's work on where. We need a map of Whitechapel, and please also find me a pencil, 2 compasses, one of which can draw ellipses.
Save it again. Just keep saving. Everything you needed? That was everything you needed?
We'll need a map, Watson.
Oh, you wanted a map.
I am in need of something.
What do you fucking...
First of all, let's place our 4 murders on this map, as well as the spot where the graffito appeared, and the piece of apron was dropped.
Graffito? I don't remember where they died, okay? I don't remember. I think Annie was Bucks Row. I don't remember. It's been like a fucking month. Well, she was here. And the graffito was here. And you were here. And Annie was here because Dark Ann died over there.
Perfect, Watson. Let's connect
I
each
did it.
crime scene to the one out of the others that is the furthest.
What'd you just ask me to do? What are you asking for me? Oh, you fucking motherfucker! I don't know what he just asked. What'd you just ask? Is that what you asked? What did he fucking ask me? I didn't catch it. I was looking at something else. It's gone forever. Isn't it lovely that they have the system that records all the dialogue they give, except sometimes it just doesn't do it? Isn't that just fucking lovely? Well, I might have to look this up just entirely because Sherlock asked me to do something. I don't know what he asked me. I'm just gonna basically be doodling because I don't actually know what he said. It was there and it was gone. He wanted me to do something with a line, something to do something, something. Wretched. That's like really sad. Alright. Alright, whatever then, fuck you too.
You see, Watson, the murders aren't grouped together, but seem to be spread out like cardinal points around a central zone. The killer obviously wanted to avoid returning to the previous scenes of his crimes, assuming that they would be more closely watched or that he could be recognized.
So the killer lives at the centre of this cross?
In the vicinity, most certainly, but how near? We cannot afford to get it wrong. If you concentrate, Watson, you will notice that the murders are roughly equidistant from the intersection point of the diagonals. Let's focus on the night of the double murder. Remember, Watson, it took us 20 minutes to get from Dutfield's Yard to Mitre Square. Let's draw a line from one to the other. Perfect. We didn't make the trip as the crow flies, but that would not harm our estimate. Let's suppose the killer left Dutfield's Yard at 1 a.m. and arrived in Mitre Square at 1:35 a.m. when he was seen by the two Josephs. If he took 5 minutes to change his clothes, that leaves a range of 10 minutes to determine where this man's lodgings are. We must determine the area in which one can go from Dutfield's Yard to Mitre Square in less than half an hour. To do this, let's draw an ellipsis. The length between Dutfield's Yard and Mitre Square corresponds to 20 minutes. By adding half, we get a distance of 30 minutes. By taking the two right segments, each starting from the two murder scenes, and which the sum of the lengths makes 30 minutes, we get our ellipsis.
Is this the ellipses? Oh. Oh, 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 oh. That's, oh there. Oh there. Oh, you're a wide one. Oh. I don't like this ellipses maker. Can I do? Oh, it's so big. I'm not a fan of this. Of this. Oh, I can make another one. Oh, I can just fucking ruin it. Is that cool? I know this is what you want. How accurate do you think I have to be for this? What level of accuracy do you think Sherlock's going to demand here? I've picked up what he's putting down. It's this. I'm certain of it. I'm gonna have to look this one up too. I'm really... Am I just getting... Oh, okay. I'm gonna look it up. Am I getting it wrong, or are they just being an asshole about the... Oh, no. I think they're being extraordinarily specific. Oh, no. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Oh, no. Yeah? That? Oh. Oh no. Oh no. I want to point out I'm looking at a walkthrough to I think they're like being extraordinarily obtuse about it.
There we are, Watson.
Jesus.
It's still rather a vast area, Holmes.
Yes,
what
indeed.
A fucking
and our goal is to reduce
wankfish.
this area as much as we can. We must consider the fact that the murder at Mitre Square was committed under a certain amount of pressure, given that the killer
I'm going to
knew he
use the
was wanted for
walkthrough
the acts he committed not long before.
No.
We can assume that he had to do it in a safe zone, that is, an area not far from where he lives. This is especially true of an act such as the graffiti he carried out
They've
after
decided
two
to be
murders.
absolute
Let's
trash.
trace a circle around this point, with the distance separating it from Mitre Square as the radius. This will enable us to
In case it wasn't
determine our killer's
obvious,
safe zone.
they wanted me to make this little circle here, this little ellipse here, and as you can see, I could pick up. I was picking up what they're putting down. I knew where they wanted it to be. They wanted it to be exactly. I had to look at a picture on a walkthrough and look at the specific streets they had on the maps and try to align this. And they had almost like coordinates played out on a picture for me to get this exactly how they fucking wanted it. They wanted it pixel perfect. So fuck them. No, I'm looking at the rest of this. They ruined that.
Our killer must surely live inside this circle. Now, let's intersect it with the ellipsis that we previously determined.
Oh, that was a scary sound.
There we are, Watson, the Aldgate district.
Shouldn't we inform the police so that they can concentrate their efforts on this area of Whitechapel?
It is probably already crawling with inspectors, Watson, and I doubt that they would take us seriously, even if they were willing to listen to what we had to say. Let's focus instead on understanding the killer's modus operandi.
I can't believe they ruined that.
We know our murderer preys on prostitutes who are penniless, weak, sick, or alcoholic, that he distracts them the moment before killing them, and that he left an anonymous message inciting anti-Semitic hatred at the entrance of a building occupied by Jews. How would you describe this man?
What a coward.
Indeed, he is a person of great cowardice. Let's look at his murders, and in particular, the depredations on the corpses, putting aside that of Liz Stride, because on that occasion his work was left unfinished. If we recall the observations made on the victims and the parts that were mutilated or damaged on each of the bodies, without forgetting the fact that he also removed one or more organs, we can ascertain that our killer evolves during the course of the murders, cowardly and still evolving. And yet, look at the location of our first murder, that of Polly Nichols in Bucks Row. It is the most distant from the area our killer would appear to live. Perhaps this murder was preceded by another within the killer's area. I believe a cowardly killer would commit his first murder in an area close to his home, in order to find refuge as quickly as possible on carrying out the act.
Holmes, an idea just occurred to me that fills me with dread. This evolution of which you speak.
He will pursue his next victim as long as the conditions permit him to continue killing Watson.
But how could one go even further in this horror? Look at what he did to that woman, Catherine Eddowes.
Oh, I can turn them into skeletons.
In order to avoid having to answer that question, we must act with haste and planning. Watson, I suggest you inform yourself on the mutilations sustained by the victims. We played with the idea that this could be an act of vengeance against prostitutes. If the mutilations correspond to areas affected by a specific pathology, perhaps the killer wanted to give an eye for an affliction he felt the prostitutes he knew were responsible for.
Is it the cat meat man?
And this trail leading to Dr. Tumblety Holmes?
I also have a few things to look into in the
His
meantime.
family was killed by the
I still have a
fucking
primary
horrible
witness to
prostitute's
track down,
disease.
Not to mention old trails I've yet to pursue. See you soon, Watson.
Talked about his daughter rotting away.
When we first spoke about the Bucks Row murder with
He's a
Watson,
butcher.
he was reading a newspaper, The Star, dated September 1st, 1888, I believe, which mentioned similar murders in the preceding months. I have no chance of finding the police
Frequently
reports,
wears a dark hat.
but perhaps I could
coat.
find some information at the Central News Agency. I must go there at once. Afterwards, I'll go back to see Abraham, the
Didn't
owner
have
of
a
the pet
mustache,
shop in
though, I don't
Whitechapel.
believe.
The second Joseph's statement would lead me to believe that he may know the man spotted on the corner of Church Passage that night. If that's the case, I must find this witness so I can question him.
I think that's gonna be it. I know we're coming up to the end of the game, which tells me the next time I play Sherlock, it'll probably be a short stream, I assume, or I'll have to load something else up with it, which is probably what I'll end up doing, because we've gotten to one of those clear end of chapter points that are nice little subdivisions, and it's getting pretty close to time anyway. We stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, 6 to 10 Central Standard Time. We're gonna play some things next week. We have a YouTube channel. These games make me sad.